Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Season of Total Life Change. My name is Roscoe Mason. I'm the Executive Leadership Coach and Webcaster. And today we have a special guest on our show, Mr. Norris Aikens. Norris is a native of Detroit, Michigan, but has lived in Katy, Texas since 2004. He is a commercial and residential mortgage finance broker, and he has years of experience in the field and is considered an expert in the real estate industry. He is a community leader, and he's an active member of his church, Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church, or Shrine of the Black Madonna, as it is commonly called. We'll be back with Norris in just a few minutes on our Zoom presentation, so bear with us as we set up make the presentation. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Season of Total Life Change. My name is Roscoe Mason. I'm the Executive Leadership Coach and Webcaster for Season of Total Life Change. And we're fortunate today to have as our special guest, Mr. Norris Aikens of Norris Financials. Norris is a native of Detroit, Michigan, but has lived in Katy, Texas since 2004. Norris is a commercial and residential mortgage finance broker. He has years of experience in the field and is an expert in the real estate industry. He is a community leader and is an active member of the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church, or as it is also known, the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Norris, good morning. How are you today?
Oh, doing fine. Thanks for asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to go through a series of questions, Norris, just to let our audience learn something about you. Can you tell our audience where you grew up?
Yes, actually, I am a native of Detroit, Michigan. I was born and raised there, went to school there, attended Central High School, attended Wayne State University, and lived in Detroit, except for a brief stint with the church down in Atlanta, Georgia. I was there from 1977 to 1981. And then in 1985, December, I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, Grand Rapids. Now, how long have you lived in Houston, Norris?
I've been in Houston now since 2004.
Okay. And 2004, okay, that's about 16 years. And how long have you been in business, Norris?
I started in the mortgage business actually in Grand Rapids back in 1997. So I'm coming up on 23 years this September.
Okay. Now, can you tell us, can you explain to the audience more about your business, what you actually do?
Yes, gladly. My business mainly revolves around establishing financing for my clients who are looking to purchase or refinance real estate, that being residential or commercial. I also work with financing of construction, rehabs, and renovations. And as I mentioned, commercial, we do commercial finance actually throughout the world. In the residential side, I'm licensed under the federal government to function as a residential mortgage banker here in the state of Texas. I'm looking to expand back to my home state of Michigan, and I'm looking to have that done within the next several months.
Okay, so this is something that you planning on to do pretty soon, huh?
Yes,
if it works out.
Yeah, that's on the projection to be done this year, no later than the end of the third quarter.
Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you a question. We all know about the housing needs of Black people. How does your company address those issues?
Well, we are known as a company that cares, number one, and that we will take the time to work with our community, which is considered an underserved community. And mainly where we stand is statistically Black and African Americans, and as well as the Latino community, lag far behind the mainstream community in home ownership. And a lot of times, in my opinion, in my studies, I found that it's due to a lack of education, being that a lot of times we have not been fully immersed in the world of finance, credit, money management, and things of that sort. So a lot of times the clients that come to me who might not be ready to purchase a home, they are pleasantly surprised to find out that I'm willing to work with them and develop a plan, which sometimes involves building credit, building savings, and just an overall understanding of what it's going to take to become a successful homeowner.
Okay. Now, what now does that include customers who are looking to purchase their first home, or is that just an overall agenda?
Yes, we actually work with first-time buyers. Um, we work with a program specifically in Houston, where the city of Houston will give a first-time buyer up to $30,000 towards purchasing a home. There are certain guidelines and restrictions regarding income and what have you. Um, and then there's a city up out of Dallas, actually Irving, Texas, where that city offers a first-time buyer an incentive of $50,000. So we work with those programs to assist people to take advantage of that type of funding so that they can buy a home pretty much with very little out of pocket.
Oh, okay. Now, uh, going back to the present, how has the pandemic affected the way you do business, Norris?
Yeah, it's had a profound effect. I mean, one, there's a certain amount of anxiety in the buying public, of course. I mean, people out of work, people dealing with a extreme case of uncertainty, not knowing just where we'll be, say, in the next 3 months, next year. So that has affected people and their enthusiasm as far as buying homes are concerned. And then on the other hand, we have a very um, volatile financial climate. And what I mean there is in the world of the capital markets, your banking, your stock markets, and what have you. As you've seen, there's been wild fluctuations in the stock market. There's been all types of fluctuations in interest rates. Um, so there's a mix of issues that bode negatively on the business. However, we're still doing business. There's still people coming on board looking for homes, people coming on board looking to refinance their homes because the interest rates now are at historic lows. So people are finding that it's a benefit to refinance, save some money as they move forward.
So, I think I hear you saying this has had that the whole situation had a dramatic effect on the market overall.
Yes, there is a dramatic effect. And, right now we're all dealing with a certain amount of uncertainty. Nobody knows where this whole thing is going to lead and how it'll end. We're just mainly hoping and praying that we'll get a positive response and result out of it. But, it's in God's hands now, to speak as a believer.
Right, right. Now, one of the most important things these days, health is a serious concern these days. How have you been addressing the issue personally?
Well, personally, being that I'm of that age group that's highly affected by this virus, I've been very careful to maintain the social distancing protocols, and mainly that means I'm at home. I've not ventured out of my home very often here lately. Fortunately, I can conduct my business 100% pretty much at home, except for when it might come to meeting with a client. But I've suspended all meetings. I've actually closed my office, and I've let everybody know that I'm available, but mainly by phone and internet.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a big change for everyone I know. Now, you mentioned, can you give us a little bit more information on your plans for the future, your vision for the future?
Yes, well, what we're planning to do is I'm looking at expanding my operation, as I mentioned, going back to Michigan. As a matter of fact, I've already secured a physical office location up there in Detroit. Um, so that's already set because that is a requirement. You cannot be a licensed mortgage operation from anything other than a brick and mortar type location. You can't do it from a post office box or something of that nature. But here in Texas already, I've began to expand. I've opened up a processing center out in the Austin, Texas area. So I'm beginning to originate loans more out in the Austin area. And I'm looking to expand more into the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. So those are mainly the plans that I have on for this year. I'd like to get Austin up and running, Dallas, Fort Worth up and running, get Detroit up and running, and hope to move into the year 2021 with those various offices moving right along and smoothing out.
Okay. Now, Norris, here at Season of Total Life Change, we focus on executive leadership, and executive leadership we feel is about coaching, mentoring, training, decision making, strategic planning, and setting organizational goals. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you think that you could possibly fit into that arena?
Look, that is a very important goal of mine. One of the things that I'm working with through my church is we're looking to roll out what we're calling an entrepreneur showcase. And through that initiative, we expect to be able to offer mentoring to young entrepreneurs of our community, to offer them resources and means of bettering their position in business. One of the things that we've recognized over the last 5-6 years is through our Buy Black movement, we've developed a group of young entrepreneurs who are very much involved in our Buy Black marketplace. And that represents a very strong push to accent why we should spend money amongst ourselves. And as we learn to do that, we can also learn to maximize our business interests. And by those of us who've been in business for many years, such as myself, that we work as mentors and we work to offer advice to the young entrepreneurial class so that our community can be strengthened. Because one bulwark of the American system is finance and economics. And that is one of the foundations of this whole society. And in order for us to claim our rightful place, we must make sure that we're taking care of including ourselves in a big way.
Okay. And Norris, I got one last question. How would our audience get more information about your company and what you're doing?
Well, we can advise that you visit my website, which is www.norrisfinancials.com, or you can actually receive information to your smartphone by texting Norris, my first name, to 36260. And by doing so, you will get my personal app, which gives you all of the information regarding my company. It gives you the ability to access my secured electronic mortgage application. You can access all the programs that we offer and explanations of how they work, and find out every bit of information on my company and as well myself.
All right. Well, Norris, we certainly thank you for participating in our interview, and we want to wish you a very productive day.